Hey guys, welcome to Cray Outdoors. In today's video, I'm going to be going over my ice fishing rod and reel arsenal, and basically I'm going to be going over all of my ice fishing stuff that I didn't cover in my ice fishing tackle review video, where I go over all of my ice fishing tackle and all of my open water lures that I use for ice fishing. Check out that video. I go over all of my jigs and lures and things like that that I use under the ice. But yeah, this video I'll be showing you my rods, reels, tip-ups, augers, things like that. Hopefully I will get out ice fishing soon. It's been a blizzard all week, so I haven't been fishing all week. Good news is the ice should be nice and safe. It's been extremely cold, so hopefully we will be out on the ice this week making videos. Anyway, a favor I need you guys to do, go check out Lake Erie Outdoors on Instagram. They're always posting cool stuff, first of all, and second of all, they're actually doing a giveaway. Once I hit 300 subs, they're going to do a giveaway. They're giving away an Akuma rod and reel or something like that. So go check them out on Instagram, and follow my Instagram while you're out there too. Follow me at Cray Outdoors, and just let you guys know, once I hit 500 subs, I'll probably be doing a giveaway too. But yeah, definitely check out Lake Erie Outdoors. They're always posting cool stuff on Instagram. They'll actually share your photos if you catch something cool at Lake Erie or in Western New York, or hunting stuff too. They share hunting stuff. Check out Lake Erie Outdoors, check out my Instagram, and into today's video, my rod reel arsenal. So here we have all of my ice fishing rods and reels laid out. This first one is my absolute favorite, the one that I use most of the time. It's called a Frabble Dead Stick. It's got a nice Frabble reel. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Frabble. I absolutely love this thing. It's also one of my most inexpensive rod reel combos. It was a rod reel combo at Walmart a couple years ago for just $20. I absolutely love this thing. The reel is amazing. Probably one of the best ice fishing reels I have. I have it with a 2-pound test line. This rod is extremely sensitive. Just takes like absolutely nothing to bend that tip. It is a little flimsy if you ever hook into something big. As you can watch in some of my videos, I've hooked some decent sized fish on this thing, and it has like no backbone, but it's never broken on me. Despite I caught a 5-pound bass on it, I've brought in some decent sized trout on it. It hasn't broken yet. It's been going strong for 3 years now, and with that super light tip, man, you can just pull panfish out so easily with this thing. It's so easy to detect bites. You know, I've outfished other people just because they didn't have a rod that was so incredibly sensitive. Extremely sensitive, works extremely well. Again, this reel is amazing for $20. This thing was one of the best combos I ever bought. I keep pretty small jigs on it most of the time because, again, it's my lightest pull. Really great for catching those finicky fish. Great for smelt fishing too. My other two rods are pretty much the same. They're just Berkeley cherry wood rods. I don't know. They're pretty cheap. I believe I was given these things for Christmas. I've had put on different reels on them over the years. And when I say I mean like a long time ago I got them for Christmas. These ones are also pretty light, pretty easy to detect fish with. I usually use one of these. And then I have a backup one that I usually let my friend, when my friends are with me, that I let them use it. This is the one that my last video, the eye broke off on me. You can see I've glued a new eye on there, so ready to roll. And this one has a Berkeley reel on it. Yeah, it's got the Berkeley cherry wood reel that it came with on it still, which is a pretty horrible reel actually. But they work. I don't know. They work all right. They do the job when you're just catching panfish. This one, it's got an upgraded reel on it. This one's got a HT something. It's got a 4-bearing reel on it. This one's actually a really good ice fishing reel. Actually, that's actually one of my better reels too. Anyway, this one is the one that my friend at college gave me. It's gonna probably be my new spoon rod. I haven't really used it too much yet, but I'm probably gonna use this thing for jigging my trout spoons and stuff from now on. It's an ugly stick. I love ugly sticks. Ugly Sticks GX2. I've got a couple of those open water fishing poles. So yeah, it's got a pretty sensitive, pretty light tip. Good for for jigging spoons and detecting bites. And it's got another, just a Shakespeare reel that it came with. My friend who was at college when he graduated, he doesn't live where he has ice. So, of course, his ice fishing stuff was useless to him. So he gave all his ice fishing stuff to me and my other friend. So that was cool of him to do. And this is a rod that you probably saw in my last videos. I hate this rod. It's extremely cheap. It comes apart all the time. Cheaper ice fishing poles don't have like a screw-on thing, which, I don't know, some of them, like this one, has got that good cork handle. It's got one of those cheap things, but it's got a good cork handle, so those grips there stay and they hold the reel on pretty good. This one with the foam handle, I don't know, the reel's always falling off, so I put one of my junkier reels on it. I used to use this rod for jigging spoons, like trout spoons and stuff. It's a medium action. It's got kind of a similar action to that ugly stick, but like I said, I've gotten kind of frustrated with it falling apart on me, so this one's probably just going to be a backup rod and reel from now on. The reel on that's getting pretty junky too. Alright, this is a medium action rod, which is actually pretty heavy and stiff. This is another, yeah, this is actually an HT. I thought it was going to Berkeley. It's not. Hardwater Classic. This is a medium, 24-inch medium action Hardwater Classic HT rod. It's very, very stiff. Good for, I don't know, jigging something bigger, I guess. Use it for jigging Rapalas is the main thing that I use this rod for. It's got an Akuma reel on it. The Akuma reel is actually getting kind of junky, getting kind of clunky on me too. But we'll still do the job for another season or two, I think. This here, an HT, another HT. This one's a Neon Ice Extreme. Again, very similar to that other pole. This one I think is a little bit even heavier action. I think this is a medium heavy action pole. It's for like jigging Rapalas and stuff for walleye. So you can see I've got a big jig head on this pole for putting big minnows on, jigging for walleye. And I believe this one's got 6-pound test line on it. My lightest pole here has 2-pound test, the Frabble Dead Stick. These two poles here, which are pretty similar, they're the cherry wood, Berkeley cherry wood ones. These ones both have 4-pound test on them. They're my second lightest. And then everything else has 6-pound test on it. That's the line for all of my poles. So lastly, in the ice fishing rod reel arsenal is this beast. I don't know, get the whole thing in the shot here. I'm still learning how to go about angling this new camera here. But this thing is a beast. This is, believe it or not, my first ever open water, open bail fishing pole. And I was like, I don't know, 6 years old. My dad was very frustrated with like the little closed bail, like Mickey Mouse poles and stuff that were always, those reels were just terrible. So he bought me a ice fishing pole with an open bail, with a good open bail reel on it, and yeah, it was one of my first ever fishing poles. My very first one is actually at the bottom of the Allegheny Reservoir somewhere. It's the only fishing pole I've ever lost, a carp or something. Took that pole into the water while we weren't paying attention. But he bought an identical one for me after that to replace that one. And yeah, this thing's lasted ever since. But it's actually technically an ice fishing pole. It's got just this big aluminum rod. It's not very sensitive or anything, but what I plan to use it for this year, I haven't really used it since like my first couple seasons of ice fishing. This is my first time. I'm bringing it back this year. I'm planning to use it to jig with lipless crankbaits. It's big and heavy and sturdy and stiff, and should work great for jigging those lipless crankbaits. And you know, when walleye or pike or something crushes one of those things, there's no mistaking it. And this thing's got, you know, an incredible backbone. It should be able to take in giant pike and walleye and whatever else. So, and it's nice and long too. So yeah, looking forward to bringing this baby back this year. My personal best carp is actually on this, my personal best fish, I should say, is actually on this pole still, believe it or not. When I was like 10 years old, I caught like a 20-some pound carp on one of these things. So it was actually the one that I lost, I think, that same year in the reservoir. But yeah, again, we bought an identical replacement for it. So yeah, these things can catch big fish. even in the open water, ice fishing poles can catch big fish. So that is the rod reel arsenal. I'll show you my tip-ups and stuff real quick. So my ice fishing videos are more popular than my open water fishing videos, so I'm guessing everybody already knows how a tip-up works, but in case you do not, basically fish bite, you put bait on the bottom here, and then you wait for a fish to come by, grab that bait, and boom, they set off the flag. When they're pulling on it, when they're taking the bait across the lake or whatever, that top thing spins, and that's how you know you've got a big fish on there. Occasionally I'll set them for like panfish with little pieces of bait or something to just locate where the panfish are, and then I'll jig for the panfish. Or sometimes I use, smaller bait for trout, and panfish set that off sometimes. But most of the time I'm using like big giant shiners and suckers and stuff, or the perch or panfish that I catch, and I've got it rigged for like pike or walleye or something. So it's really exciting when the tip up goes off and you see that thing spinning. So these are all my tip-ups. This one here is basically junk. I just keep that one as sort of a backup. I'm not even going to show you how that one works. That one works with like a magnet. It was supposed to be like a windproof tip-up. It was good in theory, but the device itself does not work very well. So my dad actually gave that one to me after he got frustrated with it. This one here is like the old-fashioned kind of tip-up. Maybe at the end I'll show you how that one works. Again, I don't actually like the old-fashioned kind of tip-ups. Some people prefer the old-fashioned kind. I definitely prefer the modern ones. But yeah, those ones are just sort of my backup. My main 5 are these ones here, which are all pretty much the same. One thing I do look for on tip-ups is that they have this metal spool. Nowadays they're starting to make these tip-ups cheaper and cheaper, so if they don't have that metal spool, these plastic spools break apart pretty easily. So in fact, this one's already, that one's cracked and stuff. So yeah, I really am a fan of these wooden ones. They're extremely nice. I have all my tip-ups flipped over this way because you used to have your addresses on them. So a lot of these ones still have my address on it, which I obviously don't want you guys to see. But yeah, I really am a big fan of these wooden ones. They're only like $10-12, and yeah, they're great. They're nice and big, and they got that nice metal spool. They're extremely smooth. And then, yeah, again, these are all just the plastic ones. Oh, this one's a little bit unique. My very last one here, I think, yeah, the address is on the flag on that one, so I can show it to you. It's actually wearing off. Yeah, this one is pretty cool. Unfortunately, my friend broke it on me because he didn't know how to work it, but I'll show you it set up. So yeah, this tip-up's pretty cool. It folds up into this nice little compact, like, stick almost. It's got a little wing nut there that you twist to get the flag to go up, and then you tighten it up again. It used to have a nice telescopic flag that went super, super high. That's where my friend unfortunately broke it because he didn't realize you had to tighten and loosen this wing nut to put the flag down. He kept trying to force the flag down like you do with the other tip-ups and accidentally broke it. But yeah, again, it's got a wing nut here. You screw that one, and then the bottom comes down. So when it's all set up, it, of course, looks like that. It folds up quite nice. This one was, again, given to me for Christmas a long time ago. But yeah, really cool tip-up. It's one of my favorite ones. This one's good and super sensitive, too. Unfortunately, that flag doesn't go up high anymore because, again, my friend broke it. But yeah, these tip-ups will last pretty much forever. Again, if you get ones with the metal spools, if you get a good one, this one's got a plastic spool, but again, this was a good one. It must have been an expensive tip-up. If you get a good one, they'll last forever. You just got to put a little bit of reel grease in them at the beginning of every season, and you're good to go. So this is the old-fashioned kind of tip-up. I think, some people like them better because, again, they fold down in just a little light stick. These ones, again, they got wing nuts in the middle here, so you take them apart like so. There you go. Covers the hole with this X here, like that. And then you set the flag on this little thing here. And then you pull this thing down. And again, basically works the same way. When the fish goes and takes it, boom, sets the flag off. The other reason why some people prefer these ones is the flags tend to be much higher on the old-fashioned kind. So you can see the flag from farther away. What I don't like about them is, there's no way to tell if the fish is taking line without like being right there and looking into the hole to see if the reel's spinning. And I don't know, I just, to me, these old-fashioned kind are just basically a pain in the neck. Setting them is a pain sometimes to fish. If you don't set the flag just right with the old-fashioned kind, the fish can actually take it and be spinning the spool without even setting the flag off. So yeah, I don't know. I don't like the old-fashioned ones, but it's a matter of preference. I got this one again. This is one that was given to me by that kid who graduated college and doesn't have ice where he's from. So I use it as a backup. You can never have too many tip-ups. In some places you go to, in New York State, the limit's 7. But depending on where you go, like on Lake Champlain, you can have like 20 or something. Don't quote me. I don't know if that's the number. Maybe it's 15. It's a lot you're allowed to have. And on the Seneca Nation too, you're actually allowed to have up to 9 tip-ups. So I'd actually like to get more tip-ups. I have more rods and reels than I need, and I mean, I have enough tip-ups, but you know, I'm always in the market for more. It's one thing that you can't have too many of. So again, I've gone over my tackle, but just as far as the rest of the stuff I have, Jet Sled Junior, absolutely love jet sleds for ice fishing. I think a must-have if you're ice fishing. The Hummingbird is actually technically my dad's, but whenever he's not ice fishing, he does let me use it. I actually bought it for him for Father's Day, and yeah, absolutely love the Hummingbird. It's definitely, having a flasher, it doesn't need to be a Hummingbird, but any sort of flasher is a game changer. I like the Hummingbirds because they got the big screen and they're pretty darn easy to use. It's what my friend had in college, and he's the one that you know, got me hooked on the Hummingbird brand. But Vexlar is the other really popular one. Expensive up front, but once you put the money in, you know, they pretty much last forever once you take care of them, and that basically goes for all ice fishing equipment. And then the Gas 8-inch auger. Again, this one I believe is actually technically, my dad got it for me, but we both use it. Great for drilling 8-inch holes, good and quick and fast. I used to have an 8-inch hand auger that I got rid of, that I had in college, and it was a nightmare up there drilling through 3 feet of ice with an 8-inch hand auger. We also have, my dad has a 6-inch hand auger that's in his car right now, and you know, that's all you really need to get started is a 6-inch hand auger, and that's all you need to catch panfish and trout and stuff. It's rare that you catch a fish big enough that it actually requires an 8-inch hole. I mean, we pulled in the Adirondacks, we used to pull giant pike through 6-inch holes, but 8-inch holes definitely make it easier, and of course having a gas auger makes things easier and more efficient. But overall, I can say ice fishing stuff is, you know, up front it's a decent investment to get the auger and the sled and everything, but once you have this stuff, it pretty much lasts forever if you take care of it. So yeah, it's a worthy investment, I think, and honestly, the ice fishing rods and reels, way cheaper than open water fishing. I mean, to get a good sensitive open water fishing pole and a good sensitive open water fishing reel, it's quite expensive. But yeah, ice fishing, $20 for pretty much all the jigging sticks and reels that I showed you. Those combos were all like $20 combos. Tip-ups have came way down in price in the last couple years. Pretty much all those tip-ups I showed you, you can get for under 20 bucks nowadays. So yeah, definitely ice fishing is a worthy investment, I think.